begin the new season, you ask me, can Tampa Bay win it? What about Dallas? It's got to be the upstart Cardinals. Green Bay. But when I said it was the Rams,
people wanted to write our story for us. But now that we're here, they can never take this from us.
NFC West Division rival. Odell Beckham Jr. Touchdown, Rams. Razzle-dazzle Hollywood style. Tyler, did he get rid of it? It's intercepted. And the Rams aren't done yet.
Buccaneers football now.
Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Look down from behind. Ball is
What
out.
a difference Von Miller has made to this football team.
Stafford deep downfield. He's got touch that game to win the game. And here comes Jimmy Garoppolo, 6-0 against the Rams. For the middle, Samuel gets blown up. Will take off and get the first down. Pass Clark, caught. Still rumbling. End zone caught. Touchdown Rams.
Aaron Donald doesn't speak a lot, but when he does, they all listen.
Tunneled in the air, intercepted by the Rams. And the Rams are going to Super Bowl 56.
This is what it feels like to bring it home.
it's Super Bowl week here at Keeping It Real Sports. I am the real sports guy, Steve Taylor. He is the Sandman, and we are live. Talk to me, Sandman.
Steve Taylor, I am a Rams fan this weekend, as you know, based on my attire. There's no way in hell I could ever cheer for that team. Don't give me the same state shit. Come on now. That is a rival of mine since the time I was on this earth. I lived in that city. They are the most ruthless fans on the planet. God help me or you if they win that game tomorrow. So you got to get this from me.
Well, we're going to break this down.
You got to get this.
This is so big that we needed 2 days to do this shit. It's Super Weekend, bro. So make sure you join us tomorrow at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock for our Super Bowl show. We got a ton of guests. We got Buckeye fans. We got Bengal fans. We got Ram fans. We just got football fans. That's going to break this thing down. We're going to break it down and give you all of the real before the big game. Boy, I'm fired up, Andy.
I can tell, man.
Heck
I can
yeah.
tell.
Heck
I think
yeah,
it's
wouldn't
Sunday.
you be?
It's Sunday already in your mind. I know that.
Well, but man, it's been 2 weeks, man. Brewing,
I know.
man.
I know.
But you know what, man? Hey, man, we got a big show to get into.
I wouldn't know, but you know.
We got a big show to get into. We got
Yes.
a couple of first here for us, man. A couple scheduled guests, man, to come in, man. And, you know,
All right.
they want to give us, man, their opinion of the games. But as always, Andy, let's get into what we do, man. Let's do the hurry up. Hurry up.
You're so excited, you forgot we got to hit the quick hitters first.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Throw that up there. Come on.
All right, let's get to quick hitters. Quick hitters.
All right, Steve. Well, this is an easy one for me. This is the image of the Olympics that you're going to see for Team USA right here. Nathan Chen, just a tremendous Olympics, helping Team USA win silver in the team event. A little bit of controversy behind that, by the way, but we don't have time for that this week. But just absolutely nailed his free skate, hit all 4 of his quads, and set the highest score in the history of the sport in his short program. But that wasn't the only story this week, Steve. This was another one. Mikaela Shiffrin crashed in 2 of her 5 races and has not medaled yet. She was the odds-on favorite to win gold in all 5 of her events, and she doesn't have a medal yet, Steve. Everybody's saying she might have a little bit of mental wear down like Simone Biles did in the Olympics for the summertime. There could be some truth to that because that is not the Mikaela Shiffrin that we're used to.
Well, I tell you, the big story for me this week was the Texans and their decision to hire Lovie Smith. You know, and I called you immediately. I said this is a witch hunt. I expected them to hire him when I heard that he was a last-minute candidate because of all of the NFL suit brought up by this guy, Brian Flores. Now, he's left in the dark. Here's a winning coach that's left out in the dark. And can I say it? Here we go again, Andy.
Yeah, you know, a lot of reporters, African-American reporters, are calling for Roger Goodell to step down or for him to be fired.
Yeah.
And I think that's legitimate,
Bro,
Steve. Enough
I
is
mean,
enough.
I told you it was going to happen before it happened because they were trying to save face. And then the fact that they want to name this McDaniel from the Miami hire and call him a biracial, man, will you stop that madness, man? Yeah. Next.
You know, yeah, exactly. Well, you know, we talked about a goalie retiring earlier this year, and Ben Bishop, and another one stepped down this week. But this one a little bit more significant, Steve. The Boston Bruins are currently sitting at 5th overall in the NHL, and right now they're going to be without their goaltender because he's going to retire. Just too many injuries to overcome. That's obviously the highlight of his career. He retires as the all-time winningest goaltender in Bruins history. That's saying something. Had 308 victories, a career goals against of 2.28, a .921 save percentage, 53 shutouts. Definitely going into the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. Great career. Congratulations to Rask.
Yeah. Big time, big ups to him. You know, hey, but for me tonight, the night before the night, the most electrifying fighter in UFC history, period. Israel Adesanya. He faces off with Roderick Whittaker. They're going UFC 271. But the main story on this one is Joe Rogan won't be on the telecast. You know, as controversy lingers around the statements made on his Rogan Experience podcast, talking about COVID-19. Michael Bisping to step in. He's going to replace Joe Rogan tonight. He'll join John Anik and DC Daniel Cormier. But, man, Israel Adesanya, man, do yourself a favor, Andy. Really. You want to see the most electrifying man in the sport? Tune in and watch this guy.
Yeah, he's pretty special. I know he's odds-on favorite to win tonight. This could be a double whammy weekend for you if he gets the win and your Rams get it done tomorrow. So, like you said, we got a big show, so let's get right into the hurry up.
Let's get into it.
Hurry up.
All right, partner. Well, the trade deadline has come and gone in the NBA. It passed at 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and it was a loud one this year. The biggest move, obviously, was this one right here. James Harden to the 76ers, Ben Simmons to the Nets. There were some other pieces involved, but we just want to talk about the big part of this deal. First of all, Steve, your assessment of the trade.
Well, you know, when you look at Philly, they're getting a player. So when you look at it real quick, you kind of say Philly wins because, you know, this kid wasn't even playing for him. So now they got a player. You know, the thing is, you know, will the James Harden that we've seen that's forced his way out of 2 franchises the last 2 years, will he show up? Or will it be the James Harden, man, you know, that can put up triple doubles, man, that can lead the league in scoring, man? You know, if they get that guy, you know, it could be a good move. But man, give me your thoughts on it, Andrew.
Well, I think it's a great trade for Brooklyn, actually. They had lost 10 in a row, Steve, and something had to be done. And clearly, they just couldn't share the ball between Harden, Irving, and Durant. And we knew that was going to be a problem when all 3 of them were healthy. And I think that now this could be exactly what they needed because you have a pure ball handler in Ben Simmons and somebody that can play really good defense. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA when he wants to be. And this is going to allow Irving and Durant to get the scoring done. And don't forget, Patty Mills coming off the bench too, has been hitting threes. He's in the 3-point contest for the All-Star game this year. I think this is exactly what they needed. And I couldn't think of a better situation for Simmons to go to than to be coached by one of the best point guards ever in Steve Nash. So I like the move. I also like what the Cavs did too, but I know we don't have a lot of time to talk about that.
Well, we'll get to that, but to kind of expand upon that a little bit, you know, you get Andre Drummond. Here's the little things, that, you know, because as we'll start to break down basketball and we'll get more deep into it, you know, as you know, we get up on the season, you know, get into next week and everything. But I'm starting to break this thing down, and the thing that the Nets are struggling at is defending the rim. And you get a rim protector in Andre Drummond.
Yep. Yeah. It's
Something to
funny.
think about, man.
They're in 8th right now, but the experts say that this trade makes them the favorite of the East. I'm not agreeing with that, though. I'm not going that far. I think it's a good move. I think they'll get out of their losing streak. They'll move back up into the standings, but they're not the favorites to go to the finals. I don't think so. Let's see if I'm wrong. A couple other big moves that were made this week too, Steve. CJ McCollum not in Portland anymore. Your thoughts on that one as well? All right, looks like we're going to have technical difficulties here 2 weeks in a row, so we apologize for that, folks. My partner is dealing with some internet issues, it looks like right now. But as I was talking about before, expanding upon the trade deadline, Domantas Sabonis goes to Sacramento. Marvin Bagley goes to Detroit. The Cavaliers get Karis LeVert. That's already looking like a fantastic move. The 2 games he's played have been against his former team in the Indiana Pacers, and he's helped win both of those games so far. He had 11 points in his debut, and then the Cavs were down by 18 points in the first quarter last night, and they came all the way back, and they did it because of their defense. And leading the way was Rajon Rondo with 17 points off the bench. So great move for Cleveland. I think they get the playmaker they were looking for. He's a great defender, and he believes in the system. And he's played with Jarrett Allen before in the past when they were both in Brooklyn. So you've got a little bit of chemistry there. Watch out for the Cavs, folks. I'm not just wearing this sweatshirt because I love my team. They're for real. And 35 wins already has them only a game and a half out of first place. So, partner, we got you back. Come on in.
Man, yeah, let's get that in. Let's definitely do that, man. My goodness, man, it's keeping it real, and that's what we're still doing. We're gonna keep it real, man.
But that's why you got a veteran like me on the show, because I got you covered when those things happen.
Hey, man, well, that's what we're supposed to do, man.
Yeah,
Look out for each other.
We've been doing it for 20 years, so
a lot of years. Yeah. Here we go.
Hey, Taylor Rapp here from the LA Rams. Shout out to Steve Taylor, the real sports guy, and the honorary Ram. When Steve's talks sports, you better listen. Thanks, Steve from the Rams, for your continued support and love. We are taking it all the way this year, but you already know that. Go Rams.
Are you a business owner overwhelmed with projects, planning, and paperwork? Then Crystal Clear Communications is for you. Crystal Clear Communications provide business services to help you get back to what you love. From proposal development to social media and newsletters, Crystal Clear Communications help business owners get more done. Give Crystal a call at 419-215-0735 or just visit her on Facebook at Crystal Clear Communications. Car won't start? Or maybe your computer needs a new battery. For all your battery needs, it's Batteryland, 2502 Woodville. Call Big John, and he not only offers you best in battery warehouse services, but he also offers services for your auto and your light truck. His prices will not only meet or beat, I said beat, the competition. Batteryland, 2502 Woodville. Give him a call today, 419-691-2000. That's Batteryland, your battery warehouse.
Welcome back to Keeping It Real Sports. Steve's in the process of trying to get our guests on. As we do that, we remind you that we've got a big Super Bowl show coming up for you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. Got all kinds of guests coming on to break down the game of the year as the Rams look to take down the Cincinnati Bengals, who are in the Super Bowl for the first time since 1991. And they are for real, folks. As a Cleveland Browns fan, I am terrified of what could transpire tomorrow because they might win a Super Bowl before we do. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but it's definitely a possibility. I got to give credit where credit's due. They got a hell of a team. They have probably the best up-and-coming quarterback in the NFL in Joe Burrow. The Offensive Rookie of the Year at the NFL Honors Awards the other night on Thursday, and Jamar Chase. And, that defense, when they want to, can be a trouble as well. They got guys like Hendrickson down on the defensive line. They strengthened their secondary with a couple of Buckeyes on the back end, and Eli Apple and Von Bell. And they've got a solid linebacking core as well. They've got great coaching too. Zach Taylor is a hell of a football coach. I'm really impressed with the fact that their owner, Mike Brown, has stuck with him through some of the rough times, gave him a chance to get some talent in there, and then he was able to put together the right coaching staff around him with, the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator he coach. And he talked about the fact that he wanted to prioritize his family down the road. So that's something to keep an eye on. But trust me, folks, he's going to be more than prepared for this game tomorrow. He's one of the best at getting ready for an opponent in the NFL. That's one of the reasons he was hired as the youngest head coach in NFL history at 35 years old. And he's done nothing but win ever since he got to the Rams organization. So when we talk about this game, we're going to break it down one by one. Let's see if we can bring Steve. There he is. All right, partner. How are we looking for our guests?
What's going on is for some reason our studio is blocking our guests from getting in, blocking their accessibility to the microphone. So we're not able to get them right now. So so we're going to have to kind of let's go through.
Real quick, you want to do that, or you want to stay on the Super Bowl?
Yeah, let's stay on the Super Bowl. What I wanted to do with you, Andy, was look at. Let's start with the quarterbacks of the two teams, man. Let's look at it. So tomorrow's games, we've got Matthew Stafford going against Joe Burrow. Andy, I'm gonna ask you, who you got the most faith in? Who do you have the highest confidence in? Joe Burrow, who's really trending upward.
Yeah.
Or the veteran, Matthew Stafford?
Well, here's the thing, Steve. The only reason, if you're asking me to pick a quarterback, not a team, to win this game, this is the guy I like right here. And I'll tell you why. He's done it already, okay? Matthew Stafford hasn't. This guy knows how to handle the pressure. He knows how to handle the big game moments because he won a national championship, and it doesn't get any bigger than that other than this game, which is the Super Bowl. So confidence-wise, I'm going to say Joe Burrow, but, Matthew Stafford's a really good quarterback. He's one of the reasons the Rams are in the Super Bowl, but if you're asking me to pick between the two, I got to take this guy right
here. And not a bad pick, but that guy retired to GOAT. He looked down the eye of the GOAT, the greatest player to ever play the game, and he got it done at his stadium. Time and time again, he's made plays when he's had to. So you really, man, that's kind of a push, man, if you ask me, man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Isn't it ironic that they both wear number 9 too? Nobody's really caught on to that, I don't think.
I did, and no, I even went into the numbers. The reason why both of these guys wear number 9. Okay. Well, because Matthew Stafford was number 7 when he was at Georgia. Mm-hmm. When he got to the Lions, number 9 was retired back in the 30s. Okay.
Number 7 was retired back in the 30s.
Number 7, excuse me. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and so by a guy who completed 38% of his passes. So he went to 9. Joe Burrow was number 10 at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. He really wanted to be 4. The closest thing to 4 was 10. That's why he was at Ohio State. And then when he went to LSU,
I'm probably going to wear number 9 in the NFL. I'm just saying.
Okay, Andy, coaches, if I got to ask you to pick the coach and who you had the most confidence in, who you going to go with?
For the show's sake, I should talk about Zach Taylor. I was talking about him a little bit ago, actually. But
yeah, I heard you, my cousin. That's my cousin.
Yeah. But you know what? It's this guy's time, Steve. It's this guy's time. This is the biggest game of his career. He knows it. I think he finally has what was missing in the previous Super Bowl, which was a quarterback. And, all the other pieces that are on this team were just bonuses for me. But I think he's ready to step up and get the victory and coach the way he should be coaching in a game like this and the way he should have coached previously in the Super Bowl. And I think because he lost that game, he knows that going into tomorrow. And so that's why I'm taking Sean McVay. But Zach Taylor is a product of his tree. So it's kind of interesting that they're going against each other.
That's where I was getting ready to go. This guy started out with the Rams. This guy was the quarterback, or the offensive coordinator for the Rams when they made their last trip to the Super Bowl. So he understands it well. But I got to agree with you. I got to go with this guy. His pulse is on LA.
Yeah. And, the biggest determinant in this game to me, Steve, is going to be this right here.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's going to be which defense shows up. And obviously, we're both, we can look at this just because we created a graphic for it. But, these guys are formidable. Don't get me wrong. They're talented, but they're not these guys. And you and I both know that. And that guy right there in the middle is the reason that we're both on the same page about this. And how about this guy back here? Eric Weddle. Well, he is turning into, like getting a draft pick before the playoffs, Steve. And how about this? He's going to call all of the plays for the defense tomorrow.
He knows
That's a story right there. I'm sorry.
He knows him.
That's spectacular. He's sitting at home on the couch all season. He's like, I'm going to rest.
See,
no, it's playoff time. Here I come.
Green dot 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He had the green dot 2 years ago, so it's not that big of a deal, man. It's like, he understands what he has. What you're not seeing is mistakes being made from that secondary position.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing that.
Nope. I'm going to throw this back up here. You tell the fans, give me a player that has been an impact on this defense that fans may not know a name of until they watch this game.
91 Greg Gaines.
There you go. I knew you were going to go
91 Greg Gaines.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Greg
the guy
Gaines.
for sure.
Well,
yeah.
I know the team. Greg Gaines set the edge well. Man, I tell you. So, Andy, at the end of the day, who you got?
This is not just me being a Cleveland fan. This is me being an analyst, and there's no way that this team right here doesn't win the Super Bowl. So I'm taking the Rams.
Well, you ain't even got to ask me. You ain't got to ask me.
I'm flashing it for a reason,
Man.
partner.
There you go. There you go. Stand up on that. Stand up on it.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
if they can't get this done, then you need to be worried, my friend, because now I'm not saying Cincinnati's walkover. That's not what I mean by that. Okay, let's clarify that right now. But this is by far their best chance to win a Super Bowl, because last time they had to face the best defensive coach of all time, and then they had to face the best quarterback of all time. Now they control their own destiny, and it's at home.
It is. Let's get Mike Bauman in here and see what he thinks. Balmer, what is happening,
Steve.
man?
Welcome to the show, Mike. Good to have you.
Hey, Andy, how are you, man?
We're doing great, man. We can't wait for this thing. We just got done breaking it down ourselves. Why don't you give us your lowdown on what you expect out of the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's actually pretty evenly matched, to be honest with you. But I know Steve's not gonna like this answer, but I just have this feeling the Bengals are gonna win. And the reason I say that is because I looked at the stats, and defensively, the defenses are actually more even than people think about. And really, I think that's the one big missing storyline this week. Everybody's talking about Joe Burrow versus Matt Stafford. Everybody's talking about Jamar Chase. Everybody's talking about Odell Beckham, getting the shot finally to go to the Super Bowl. But I think the one glaring storyline that people haven't been talking about is just how good this Bengals defense has been. They've led the playoffs in terms of turnovers, 5 turnovers, I believe they've gotten. And if you look at the regular season stats, I think the Bengals had like the 5th best rushing defense. Rams were 6th. The Rams had the 22nd best passing defense. Bengals were 26. Overall defense, I think the Rams are giving up like 345 in the regular season, and the Bengals were 350. Now, the Rams obviously brought in Von Miller, the second half of the season. So I think Aaron Donald is absolutely going to get to Joe Burrow. I wouldn't be surprised if him alone, if he gets like 4 sacks. But I think the variable you got to look at is this. If you're a betting person, are you taking the Bengals defense against a quarterback and Matt Stafford, who I love and have a lot of respect for and wouldn't mind at all if he won, because I'm a lifelong Lions fan, but he tied for the league in interceptions with 17 with Trevor Lawrence. So to me, that's the biggest variable in this game. Do you believe more in the Bengals defense going up against one of the most turnover prone quarterbacks in the league this year, or do you take that Rams defense against the Bengals offensive line that we all know is weak?
Okay, so real quick, let's go through this exercise. The quarterbacks. Which quarterback you got most confidence in? Stafford or Burrow?
Right now, Burrow. I think when you look at those second half adjustments that the Bengals defense not only made against Kansas City, but also just the plays that Burrow made. I mean, this is what's really interesting about this Super Bowl. And I don't know if it's ever happened before. On one side, you have a quarterback who has sacked more than anybody this year in Burrow. And on the other side, you've got a quarterback that tied for the league in interceptions. So Matt Stafford's a gunslinger. And as a Lions fan, I mean, I watched that dude throw a lot of touchdowns at Calvin Johnson. He can get it done, but he's also turnover prone. And granted, Burrow, I think, had 14 interceptions this year. But when I look at making the big play when it's needed to happen in the playoffs this year, Burrow's been able to do that for the Bengals.
Okay, Mike, coaches, who you like? Who you got the most?
McVay, I mean, they're both great, but McVay, man, I mean, it's crazy to think that dude's like 2 years older than me. I mean, he's like 35 years old. It's really, really insane. They're both great coaches, but I think situational football, I think that guy's pretty smart, man. And again, that's nothing against what the Bengals have going on the other side, man. But I tell you what, I feel like for a 35-year-old dude, that's a smart guy.
Mike, I appreciate you coming on, giving us, man, your breakdown of the game, man. Look, if you're not busy tomorrow, we're going to hold a big Super Bowl show, 11 o'clock tomorrow. Man, hop in with us tomorrow, man. We'd love to have you tomorrow, brother.
Will do. And for anybody who listens to this who bets, I would just bet that Pharrell is going to make an appearance at halftime. So if you're really into gambling and you like those prop bets, watch out for Pharrell coming out for Drop It Like It's Hot with Snoop. Nothing to do with the football game, but that's going to happen.
I like that.
That's a pretty good prediction. I like that.
I like it. Good stuff. Mike Baumann, man. Right. I tell you, man. Mike Baumann, we'll be in touch with you, man. We'll see you tomorrow, brother. Thank you.
All right. See you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate your insight. Hey, Steve, I know we're running out of show here, but the one thing we haven't analyzed and I think could be the difference in the game, special teams, my friend. And if you're asking me to pick a kicker, that was the one thing we should have got a graphic of. That's my bad. But I'm going to take McPherson, the rookie, over Gay. The way he's
all I'm going to say
now,
is Matt Gay Matt Gay made the Pro Bowl. That's all I'm going to say. The way that I have it, if you're kicking extra points, we all good.
But listen, Steve, you got to give the rookie credit. He's hit some big-time field goals in these playoffs.
Oh, hell
Most
yeah,
notably the one to get him past Tennessee. And he's just got that, it's like Burrow has instilled in all of these guys this big game mentality. And he's proved it.
Yeah.
Matt Gay's a really good kicker, but I hope it doesn't come down to that. Let's just say that. Yeah. So, real quick, Andy, we've got the Keeping It Real top 10 before we get into the sound off and get out of here. Remember to join us tomorrow, 11 o'clock. We're going to have the big Super Bowl show. Andy, I got Gonzaga number 1. I got Auburn number 2, even though they lost. Man, they're going to have to find shooting from the outside if they're going to want to get to the Final Four. Jabari Smith can't take them all the way by himself.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right.
Kentucky number 3, Houston up to number 4, Arizona number 5, the Dukies at number 6, Purdue falls to number 7, Kansas number 8, Providence breaks in at number 9. How about that?
Yeah.
And then the Baylor Bears.
Yeah. A couple of losses this week, Steve. Purdue lost. You've got, Houston lost to SMU in a thriller. And then, like you said, Auburn lost, to Alabama. Was it Alabama or Arkansas? I think it was Arkansas, wasn't it?
It's Alabama.
It was Alabama. Okay. I thought it was Arkansas. But anyways, either way, it just goes to show you the depth of college basketball this year. Our top 10 has changed over and over again. And but Gonzaga is the one team that is not ever going to leave that top 10, in my opinion, of all those teams that are in there. Might put Duke in there as well, maybe Arizona. You're not going to see them fall out of the top 10. They might move around, shuffle, but Providence, watch out for the Friars, man. That's a really good team.
Yeah. So there you go. And Andy, why don't you take us into Sound Off, brother?
All right, Steve. As we know, tomorrow is Super Bowl 56. And what do we talk about a lot when we talk about the Super Bowl? We talk about that thing right there in the middle. That is a Super Bowl ticket. Okay? Now, I get that this game is in Los Angeles. I get all that. That's fine. I get that it's in a $5 billion stadium. I get all that. That's fine. But look at this graphic, Steve Taylor. The average price of a Super Bowl ticket in this year's Super Bowl is $7,500. Do you think this guy can afford that? I don't think so. It's not fair to the fans. Something has to be done. I understand it's because of how much money they charge for the endorsements and the commercials and all that. But we, the fans, shouldn't have to be the ones paying for all of it. Come on, NFL. You talk about this being the fans' game all the time. You got to lower the prices. You got to make them a little bit more affordable. Back in the day, $700 used to be the max. The last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, $700 was the maximum price for a good seat. That $7,500 is the average price. That means your ass is up at the top of the building, Steve. I'm going to sit at home and save my $7,500. Thank you very much.
Well, Andy, truth be told, they didn't have 30 years to save up for the damn Super Bowl, so, man, it really shouldn't be nothing to cry about.
That was good. No, I like that.
Oh, man.
All right. What you got this
and
week?
on a light note, for me, this is the week where you really don't want to run your mouth. You get, guys that step out. It's only been one guy that's really predicted the Super Bowl, and it was that guy. Okay? And that goes back to Super Bowl 3. Where are we at now? Super Bowl 56? And it's always some clown somewhere that always gives us something to talk about. And this week, it happens to be this guy.
Oh, man, why'd it have to be a Buckeye? Damn it. Cooper Kupp who? You know why they call New York the Big Apple? Because I cover that shit, fam. Kupp ain't got
He
shit
says he
on me.
wants to.
Okay.
There we go.
So that tells me Cooper Kupp's going to win the MVP. That's what that tells me, Steve.
But, why? Why? Of all people, why would you call out Cooper freaking Kupp? Eli Apple, you better than that. You're a Buckeye. I just go to show you, man, that all Buckeyes ain't smart.
And, let's not forget, Steve, Cooper Kupp just won the Offensive Player of the Year at the NFL
And he got
Honors
MVP votes.
on
And
Thursday. Yeah. Now, you and I both know Rodgers deserved his second straight MVP. That season was one of the best ever in regular season history. But he's sitting at home right now, so I know that's where you're going with that.
Look, bro. All I'm going to say is this. I'm going to say this. Is in the history of the National Football League, no one has more receiving yardage from scrimmage from a receiver standpoint than Cooper freaking Kupp.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear this shit about, he had an extra game this year. Forget it. That one game isn't going to make that much of a difference in those type of records.
And I'm going to leave you with this. My cup runneth over. Hey, look. And until next time, Andy, to tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes, we're going to get it in. Man, it's going to be a lot of stuff talking, man. Oh, my gosh, this is going to be on and popping. I can't wait. But until tomorrow, Andy,
We wish you love.
and peace. And I'm going to leave you with this. In the new season, you asked me, can Tampa Bay win? What about Dallas? It's got to be the upstart Cardinals. Green Bay. But when I said it was the Rams,
People wanted to write our story for us. But now that we're here, they can never take this from us.
NFC West Division rivals. Odell Beckham Jr. Touchdown Rams. Some razzle-dazzle Hollywood style. Pollard. Did he get rid of it? It's intercepted. And the Rams aren't done yet.
Buccaneers football now.
Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Look out from behind. Ball is
One
out.
key difference. Von Miller has made to this football team.
Stafford deep downfield. He's got touch that game to win the game. And here comes Jimmy Garoppolo, 6-0 against the Rams. For the middle, Samuel gets blown up. Will take off and get the first down. Pass caught. Still rumbling. End zone caught. Touchdown Rams.
Aaron Donald doesn't speak a lot, but when he does, they all listen.
Tunneled in the air, intercepted by the Rams. And the Rams are going to Super Bowl 56.
This is what it feels like to bring it home.